What's going on, people? Match recap and player ratings for today's game. Manchester United season opener against Brighton. Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. The goal that we did get, we didn't actually score ourselves. It ended up as an own goal with McAllister. And overall, it's no change from what we've seen the last few years. It was like we might as well have Solskjaer in charge again. It was like, it didn't seem like the style of football was any different to me. The pace at the back again with Maguire getting found out. I thought Dalot was awful. I thought Martinez was worse than Maguire, and I was really impressed with him in the pre-season against Vallecano. I think De Gea was a little bit shaky. Fred and McTominay, again, just might as well not be on the pitch. Garner didn't even get to play, and I think he deserved to be starting. I think Sancho, again, was the only bright spark. Ronaldo come on, should have had an assist with a Rashford chance, which Rashford completely fluffed, which he should have scored. And then at the end of the game, you could see Ronaldo's reaction just despondent, and I think that he's going to be gone very, very soon, and I can't blame him. In terms of the game itself, I think Brighton deserved to win. I don't think we even deserved to get a draw, and I predicted a draw. But fair play to Brighton, they totally deserved the 3 points. It's a shame that we've had to start the season off like this, because we was all excited with Ten Hag coming in, similar to how we were with Ranić. But it's still not producing on the pitch and the field, and I think it's more down to the players and the owners than the actual managers, because I just think these players aren't good enough to carry out the instructions, because they've gone through 3 or 4 now in not a lot of time, and they can't seem to do what any of these managers want them to do. So I don't think that's a coincidence. With Ten Hag, you can see him more visibly on the sidelines, more than Ranić and more than Ollie. And he does shout orders and give instructions, but these players don't seem to be able to carry out these instructions. So I just think that they're not good enough in general. I'll get into the match ratings in a minute, but as I said, Brighton fully deserved the 3 points. I think we made Welbeck look like he was Lewandowski or something. I'm surprised Trossard weren't on the score sheet. Even, like, Brighton have more of a system than we do, and that's no slant on them, but, like, player for player, if you're doing it off paper, we got stars in our teams, like world-class stars, but some of them are on the bench. Varane and Ronaldo on the bench today was a joke. How can you have them on the bench when they've won how many Champions Leagues between themselves? And Varane's won a World Cup. Obviously, Ronaldo's won Euros with Portugal. Like, these are serial winners, and they're on the bench. Donny came on, didn't notice him. He also made 3 changes in, like, I think it was the 88th minute, which I don't understand. Like, the game's already gone. I know they're probably trying to blood these youngsters into the team, but it's not in the right time, I don't think, at the moment, because it's so negative. Like, they might as well stay on the bench if you're not going to give them enough time. Obviously, there was issues today because we didn't have a striker. There was interchanging between Eriksen, Rashford, Sancho at times going up front. We were kind of playing with a diamond. I thought Bruno was terrible again. They tried to get Eriksen involved on the ball, but a few times players didn't read the pass or crosses he was putting into the box. So overall, it doesn't seem like a lot of change to the last few years and how it's been. The pre-season was a bit up and down. I know we won the Bangkok Cup, but like, why are we celebrating that? That's nothing to... I know it's a bit of silverware, if you will, but it's not at a high level. Do you know what I mean? When it came to it, and like I said in the pre-season, when it comes to crunch time and high-level elite Premier League football and the season starts, are we going to show up? And we didn't. We saw him drop tools and down tools straight away again. Maguire's captain. I don't think he was the worst today. I think Martinez had a worse game than Maguire, which I didn't think I would say at all. But I think that was the case. I thought Dalot was awful. And I think Shaw was probably the best of the back 4, but not by a lot. No creativity in the game, again. They all just look like individuals, and there's no fluidity. Again, I spoke about this all last season. Where's the fluidity? Every player I keep seeing us linked with at the moment in transfers are wingers. We've got enough wingers as it is. They might not be performing, but we've got a lot of depth for wingers. yet we're still looking at wingers when we still haven't solved that defensive midfield position, which we've been crying out for about 3 or 4 years, and we still are just ignoring it. And yet we're looking at wingers all the time. Fred played in that defensive midfield today, and he was atrocious. He was awful, and he got subbed off. He should have been subbed off sooner than he was. He can't do it. McTominay can't do it. Matic was the only one that could do it, and he's now gone. We have no one, apart from Garner, who should be playing today, and he didn't even come on. I think he showed enough in the pre-season, Garner, and all last season at Forest, even though he was in the Championship. He helped them gain promotion, and he was a vital part of it. And I thought he was brilliant in this pre-season when he was involved, and he done so much more than Fred and McTominay do, even in less minutes, and he don't even get on the pitch. So that has to come down to Ten Hag. I don't understand why Fred and McTominay are in all these managers' plans, because we as fans don't understand it, but they seem to have some sort of superiority in that dressing room, and I don't understand it because they ain't backing it up with performances. So, player ratings, De Gea, 4. He kicked it out at one point under very little pressure, and probably can't do a lot about both of the goals, but I just thought he looked a bit dodgy today, so I'd give him a 4. The low, I thought was terrible. Losing the ball consistently, making mistakes, unforced errors, getting beat too easily, out of position. He was out of position for one of the goals as well. I liked the low, but I thought he was really poor today. 2. Maguire, I give him a 4. Made some blocks and stuff at times, but we did get done for pace with Maguire today. But it's nothing new that we don't already know. The fact that he's captain and we try and play a high line with him in the pitch, you're asking for trouble because he ain't got the pace. And it showed again today. I don't think he was the worst of the back 4, but he was poor still. Maguire, 4. Martinez, 3. Very disappointed in him. The pre-season game against Vallecano, I thought he looks class. He's like a Rolls Royce. And then today, his touch was off all the time. He kept losing the ball with his first touch, which was bang on in the pre-season. He got caught out of position at one point and it nearly conceded a goal. I just thought he looked more dodgy than Maguire did today, and he got caught more. Whether it's just he's got to adjust to the speed at the moment, he might come good, and I hope he does. But today, he was found out. Disappointing. Martinez, 3. Shaw, I'd give him a 4. Got caught a few times, but not a lot. And he tried to cover for one of the goals, which he has to try and cover at the centre-back position because Maguire and Martinez are nowhere to be seen. Delo wasn't anywhere to be seen either, and he tries to cover. He's trying to cover 2 men. It's impossible. So I think Shaw was the best of the back 4 today. And I did say I would rather go with Malacia before the game, but I think Shaw was not great, but not the worst. 4 for sure. McTominay, 3. Offered nothing again apart from aggressiveness, and he had a shot at one point that he took forever to shoot and it got blocked, and should have hit it first time or took a touch and hit it, and he took about 5 touches and the chance was gone. He runs about a lot. He gets into stupid little petty scuffles and acts like he's blooming James Bond. But he's a gimp, and he ain't good enough either with the talent, in my opinion. So I'd put him on the transfer list, but it won't happen. But he is terrible. Fred, I actually thought was worse than McTominay today. I usually prefer Fred, but the amount of times he put us in trouble and lost the ball in dangerous areas was dreadful. He had a shot at one point that he just ballooned into the air. That's why we don't like you shooting. I know he can score the odd goal, but he ain't done it when it's counted yet. I know we've only played one competitive game so far, but if you're in the team for the first game of the season and it's competitive, you're going to be looked at and criticised if you don't perform, and he didn't today. I thought he was one of the worst on the pitch. 2, Sancho, I thought was a bright spark again on an individual basis. Beat his man quite a lot, showed quick feet and trickery, put some good deliveries in, but the rest of them weren't at it. And I thought he was the bright spark today. I'd give him a 6. Bruno, a 2. Shots and passes, like simple passes, he was losing possession. Some of his shooting was dreadful as well. He was bitching and complaining to the ref again. The same Bruno from last season so far. So disappointed again. I didn't see that leadership that a lot of people see in him today at all. Thought he was really bad too. Rashford, 2. I thought he started off okay, and then as the game went on, he got worse. He missed an absolute sitter that Ronaldo put on a plate for him, and he hit it straight at the keeper centrally when he should have scored 100%. Ronaldo should have an assist, even though he only played like half an hour, but Rashford ruined it for him. And just the wrong decision-making again from Rashford. Disappointing. 2. Eriksen, I give him a 3. He did try and get on the ball a lot and make stuff happen, but the options were limited, and we didn't have a natural striker up there either. So he was trying to put balls into the box and that, but there was rarely anyone there or in the right position making a natural run that a striker would make. So it wasn't all on his shoulders in terms of his fault, but he struggled to be impactful because we didn't have a striker there. 3 for Eriksen. And then for the substitutions, we had Donny, Ronaldo, Garnacho, Malacia and Elanga. Ronaldo I'd give a 6 to because he should have had an assist, and I don't think he was terrible when he came on. Didn't have a lot of service or a lot of the ball, but he should have an assist that Rashford messed up. So just for that alone, I'd give him above average. 6. Donny, Garnacho, Malacia and Elanga, I'd all give them averages. They weren't on the pitch a whole lot of time. Malacia looked a little bit rash when he came on and fouled Lamptey straight away. And I thought, calm down, lad, just calm it down a bit. Luckily he did, but obviously in the end it didn't matter because we ended up losing. But I thought Garnacho didn't have enough time when he came on. They came on in like the 88th minute. I would have started Garnacho today. Elanga, didn't notice him, and Donny didn't notice him at all either. So I'd give them all an average. Didn't have a lot of time though. But Ronaldo should have had an assist if it weren't for Rashford screwing it up. As for Erik ten Hag, I'd give him a 3. It's not all on him, but some of it is. I don't think he should be starting Fred and McTominay together. I don't think Maguire should be starting. I don't think Bruno should be starting. And I don't think Rashford should be starting either. So that's a whole lot of people I don't think should be starting that he's starting. So that has to come down to the manager. He picks the team. And I think he's getting it wrong. For me, it's not all on him, but he has to get a lower than average because I don't agree with the lineups he's picking. So I think he's getting quite a few wrong. And I think the players he thinks can play what the sort of football he wants, they can't. The players I've just named, they can't do it. So for me, a 3 for Ten Hag today. Disappointing. There's a long way to go. There's only one game been played so far. I predicted a draw. We didn't even get that. And Brighton deserved to get the 3 points. So I'm not surprised. Fair play to Brighton. But I don't want to be saying this like I did last year so much, where you're just accepting of the other team being a better team and deserving the 3 points. We're Manchester United. We need to get back to the old ways of not just effort, because they do put the effort in, but the quality alone. I don't think the quality's there. Now, we didn't get a great transfer window either. Let's not forget that. That comes down to the board again. But the players that we do have to be putting more in games, and it's just as simple as that. Disappointed today. I think we should have at least got a point from that game in terms of beforehand. As the game played out, Brighton did deserve it, but that's on the players as well. They've got to stop making other teams deserve the win. Why don't we deserve wins more than we do? It's a big problem. It's going to be a painful season again, I think. But hopefully we can have some positive moments. And as for my man of the match, I would give it to Sancho. You could argue you could give it to Ronaldo as well, but Sancho played longer and I thought he was bright in points. So, yeah, Sancho would be my man of the match. Let me know yours in the comments, guys. Before I go, 2,000 subscribers by the 1st of December is the target. So make sure the notifications are on and the bell is on as well. And you're subscribing. Can only get there with your help, guys. Let's get there and smash it. I'll see you guys soon.